What's up guys, it's your girl HeyParis here and we are back at it again with another story time. If you guys watched my last story time, you know that I asked you guys if I did this one. All of y'all tweeted me and let me know that I didn't record a story time, and I could have sworn I did, but obviously I didn't. So today y'all gonna hear the scariest situation I think I've ever been in my life. I think the most scared I've ever been. Like, I can't think of another situation that has happened that had like made my heart jump like that. So I'm gonna be telling you guys about a school lockdown that we had when I was in my alternative school. But before we get to that story, let me tell you about this app really quick. The app that I want to talk to you guys about today really quickly is an app called Filo. Have you guys heard of this? Let me know if you've heard of this app before, because listen, Filo is an app that gets you the most popular channels on TV for only $16 a month. Not only that, but you can watch all your favorite TV shows anywhere, anytime, on any device you choose. So I mean iPad, your phone, your tablet, your computer, your TV, like anywhere, okay? You can watch current seasons of your favorite shows. Personally, I love to watch Basketball Wives, and another show that I've been super into recently is Married at First Sight. Have you guys heard of that TV show? Y'all know I got the ring, so anything married related I need to watch because I'm intrigued, all right? They got Teen Mom on there. They even got Surviving R. Kelly. So if you haven't watched that documentary, you can definitely watch it on Filo. They also have some of my favorite channels as well, like OWN, TLC, which Say Yes to the Dress is on, which I am going to be on as well if y'all didn't know already. But they have the Food Network, they have BBC, they even have Nickelodeon for the kids. So the kids can watch SpongeBob, they can watch their favorite cartoons. I know Cam's godson loves Paw Patrol, so the kids will watch Paw Patrol and Peppa Pig and all them things on Filo. So if you're a busy on-the-go person and you want to watch your show as well as do the dishes or do your makeup or whatever the case may be, you can just pull out your phone, pull out your tablet, and watch it while you're multitasking, doing whatever it is you need to do. So for only $16 a month, you can get over 43 channels, which is a lot better than cable. Filo is available on almost every single device, and I got you guys a free 7-day trial. And you can also get 30% off your first month. Your girl got you. So make sure you click the link in the description box down below to get your free trial, as well as your 30% off your first month for Filo. It's not only benefiting you, it's benefiting your family, your man, your mama, your daddy, your children. Everybody gonna be enjoying Filo, okay? So don't forget to check the link in the bio to sign up. Thank you so much, Filo, for sponsoring today's story time. I appreciate it. So boom, let me tell you about this lockdown situation. As you guys know, after high school, I went to an alternative school for 5th year because I couldn't stay at that school. There's no way I was gonna stay at that school by myself. No, it's not gonna happen. So there were a mixture of people. There were adults, there were younger people, there were older people, black, white, Asian, brown, all types of people of all different races, ethnicities, everything, okay? So it's kind of just like a mixture of everything. I was never really uncomfortable being there. Like, it's a little bit run down, a little bit tiny bit ghetto, but I never really felt uncomfortable the way that I felt in the other 2 schools that I went to before. So I had a friend who I used to go to school with all the time because she went to the same alternative school as me, so I'd always like meet up with her and we'd go together and we'd go to class together and we'd always just meet up. We were like just there for one another only, like nothing else. And this was around the time when like school shootings and like school violence was very, very I guess big in our world. I mean, it's still big now, but back then for some reason, and I know you guys are gonna understand what time frame this was in our lives, there was a time in all of our lives where like every day we'd be watching the news and there'd be something going on with school shooting, school bombing, school stabbing, school whatever. It would be every single day on the news. It would be something about some school, something happening at some school. And I know that everybody watching this video knows what time frame that was because it was so serious. It was so severe. It was like literally every day. And I just grew like a really big fear of that because I knew I was still in school and this could happen to me. Like, this could happen to anyone. It could happen to anyone at any school. Like, it's serious. So I developed like a really big fear of school shootings, school stabbings, school lockdowns, period would like give me, just the thought of it gives me so much anxiety. And even though I'm not in school now, like I think about my future children and it's really scary. It's very, very scary. Like school is supposed to be a place where you go to learn, a place that is safe, a place where you go to meet people and build your future. So to think that someone would go into a school and shoot it up is like, it's just so scary to me. I don't even like thinking about it. I didn't even want to do this video, but I said I would do it, so I'm gonna do it. It's scary. It's just straight up scary. So one day, me and my girl, we came to school late, which we kind of always did, honestly. But something was off about this day. As soon as we came off the bus, because the bus stop was right in front of the school, as soon as we came off the bus, like it was just an airy feeling. I just felt weird. And we were both looking at each other like something's off. Like something is different. Something is weird about school today. And now looking back at it, I understand why, okay? Usually, even, it doesn't matter how late we come into school, usually there are people outside smoking or there are people outside talking. There are just people around. When we got off the bus, I didn't see no one, I didn't hear anyone. All I heard was like squirrels and shit. Like everything sounded so much louder than it normally was, I guess because there wasn't the sound of people speaking. It was such a weird day. Like it just felt weird right off the bat. So we go into the school, the doors are open, mind you, the doors are open, and when we walk in, there's like literally nobody in the hall. I don't hear anything. I'm like, what is going on? This is just so out of the ordinary. But at that time, we really didn't think anything of it. Like we didn't think twice. We barely spoke about how weird it was that like we didn't see anyone. We literally parted ways and went to our classes because we didn't have the same classes. We went our separate ways. I went upstairs and she went down the hall. So when you're going up the stairs now, you can see the front of the school, like where we just walked in from. And I see the hall monitors slash security guards of our school like running outside, like they left, they ran outside of the school. And again, I'm not thinking anything of it because I'm like, whatever, it's an alternative school, there's probably a fight outside or something. I don't know. I didn't think twice about it. I just saw them run out. They didn't lock the doors, nothing. They just ran out, okay? Up to this day, I don't know what they ran outside for, but I just saw them running outside. So when I saw them running, I was like, oh, people are here. That's how I felt because it was literally so quiet to the point where I was like, bitch, is it Saturday? Is it Sunday? Like, are we supposed to be in school? That's how quiet it was. So me and my friend parted ways and I get to my classroom and I try to open the door is locked. So I'm like, okay, I knock. No one's answering. Like I'm standing there just knocking, like my head is leaned on the wall and I'm just like this, just knocking because I'm like, bruh, what do you mean? I can't, I know I'm late, but I can't, so open the door, please. There's like a piece of sheet, I don't know what it's called. It's kind of like a curtain, but it's for like, you know how the doors have that little rectangle thing? It's like a curtain there, and I could see past the curtains and I could see that inside of the room was dark, like the lights were off. So I'm thinking, okay, they went to the computer lab because I know when no one's in class, then that means that they went to the computer lab to do whatever. So I thought they were at the computer lab. So I went downstairs to the computer lab. The library is closed. The library is closed. I'm like, what is going on? I don't hear a pin dropping. So I decided to text my friend because it's dead silent. All the doors are closed. I'm just confused. So while I'm texting my friend, I'm like, let me go by the office and see if like anyone's there who can tell me what's going on or where my class is or if I could talk to anyone. I go to the office. It's a glass, like it's all made out of glass. I go to the office lights are off, which makes no sense because even when the school is closed, the lights are on. So I was like, what in the world is going on? Nobody's in the office, the lights are off, it's dead silent, all I'm hearing is my own footsteps. Like, sums up. I literally went in my phone like, is it family day? Like, bitch, I know it's summer, but is it Christmas? Like, why is nobody at school? Like, did everyone decide to skip, including the teachers and principal? What's going on? So when I texted my friend, I'm like, yo, come meet me in the bathroom because like I can't get in my class. And she texted me back like, I can't get in my class either, I'm gonna meet you in the bathroom. We meet in the bathroom, I'm like, bitch, we the only people up in here. We the only people in here. What's going on? She's like, I don't know, but I'm ready to go home. I'm like, bitch, me too. Let's go because I came here to learn and ain't nobody here to learn with me. So what's the point of staying here when I can't even get into my class? I might as well go home and go back to sleep. But first, let me get a cream cheese bagel from Tim Hortons because it's delectable, you know? But we decided we're gonna leave. But before we left, okay, so she's like a joker. She's like me. We like to do dumb shit, you know what I mean? And we really legitimately thought that we were up in that bitch by ourselves. We thought nobody else was in the school. I told her I saw the securities running out and she was like, she didn't see nobody at all. She did not see a soul, okay? So she's a jokey person. She likes to make jokes and stuff like that. So she decided that She's gonna scream at the top of her lungs in this empty ass school. Where everybody at? Her voice echoed throughout the halls. I kid you not. So we're just dying laughing to ourselves because we're complete idiots. We're dying laughing like this is the funniest thing that's ever happened in our lives. And we're walking, and a door that we pass by, we see, like, I don't know anyone other than my teachers, you know what I mean? I see a man peek from one of the classroom doors, and he's looking at us, and I'm like, bitch, is that a ghost? Like, what the hell is that? Why is there a man like staring at us through a classroom, in a dark classroom? All I'm seeing is eyeballs and hair. I'm like, what is going on? I'm sorry, I straight up thought it was a ghost, okay? I straight up thought it was a duppy. I thought it was a ghost. I thought it was a monster. I thought it was a spirit. Like, I was like ready to drop down to my knees and pray because I was scared when I saw his eyeballs, because I really thought we were the only people in the school, okay? He looked at us and he opened the door and he's like, come inside. And he's saying it with like urgency. He's saying it as if he's scared, as if he's like concerned for us. And I was just like, okay, like I was about to go home, but you told me to come, I'm gonna go. Like, I'm gonna listen to you. You a teacher, I ain't gonna listen. Whatever you say, sir. And as soon as we walked in, I heard walkie-talkies, like either from a policeman or from my principal, because they used to walk around with walkie-talkies. So I don't know who it was, but I heard a walkie-talkie. I remember that very vividly, because when I heard the walkie-talkie, for some reason that shook me. Like, I was shook, I was scared. I was like, hold up, something's bad, because no one's in the school. This man is telling me to come inside of his classroom quick, and then I hear a walkie-talkie. Like, am I safe? That's the only thing that was going on in my head. Am I safe? He practically dragged us in, because we were kind of looking at each other like, should we go home or should we go inside the classroom? So he grabbed us by our arms and pulled us inside, which to me don't seem like procedure, but we'll get to that soon. When we got inside and he locked the door, he told us that the school was on lockdown, and that word literally made my heart sink. I was like, oh no. Okay, I was actually scared. And I feel like the first thing I did was I texted my mom. I don't know. Like, when I'm scared, when I'm in a situation where I feel like I'm in danger, I have to text my mom, because if something happens to me, my mom needs to know that I love her dearly. Like, I need her to know that, you know what I mean? So as soon as he said that, I texted my mom and I was like, Mom, the school's on lockdown, like, letting you know. I don't want to say love you yet, because just gotta make sure I'm not safe first, you know what I'm saying? And my mother didn't answer back. She didn't say nothing back. I said, Mama, the school on lockdown. She didn't even send me an emoji, nothing. I was like, okay, I see you. Anyways, I was scared, I was shaking. Like, I'm asking him questions, he's telling me not to speak, don't talk, you're not allowed to talk. And I'm like getting a panic attack, because when I don't know what's going on, I get anxiety, and when I get anxiety, when it reaches to a certain point, I get a panic attack. So I'm sitting down at the desk and I'm just, and I'm getting lightheaded because I'm breathing so heavily and so fast, and everything is just going bad for me. Like, at this point, I'm feeling like I need to like go into an ambulance, go to a hospital. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. Because people use panic attacks very loosely. Like, I'm gonna have a panic attack, but like a real panic attack is nothing to play with. It's not funny. It's not a joke. It's dead ass. Like, you feel like you're going to die. It's not a good feeling. So for people who like joke about, I'm gonna have a panic attack, like, you don't want to have an actual panic attack. It's not fun. It's not. Okay, so I'm breathing heavy, I'm feeling sick, I'm feeling like life is about to end. I'm just not in a good place at this moment. So at this point, I went from laughing like my lungs out from my friends saying, ain't nobody in here, to me on the verge of crying. Like, I have tears in my eyes, I can't control my emotions, and on top of that, I'm in a room full of people who I don't know, because I'm in a classroom that's not mine. And my friend's not really paying attention to me because she's scared her damn self, because we're making jokes and stuff and we didn't realize the severity of what was going on. Like, I've been in lockdowns in schools before, like multiple times, but I feel like because it was in this point in my life where school shootings and all that was so heavy in the media, that's the reason why I was so scared at this moment, because I'm like, no, it's happening to me. It happened to these people, it happened to these people, it happened to these people, now it's happening to us at our school. It felt really real, and it felt, I was just really scared. I was so scared. Anyway, so we're all sitting down in silence. We're not allowed to move. We're not allowed to talk. We're not allowed to do anything. Everyone's just on their phone texting. So when I'm seeing everyone texting, I'm like, everyone's saying their goodbyes. Like, I'm overthinking, I'm overreacting, because that's just the type of person I am. I'm like, everyone's saying their goodbyes, we're all gonna die. Like, damn, bitch, I didn't get to do nothing in my life. Like, I didn't accomplish anything. Like, Really? That was a waste of a life. So I'm like, nah, bitch, I ain't gonna die. I'm not dying today. No, I'm not. So I'm looking at escape routes, what I'm gonna do if somebody comes in the room that's not supposed to be in the room. I'm thinking about how I'm gonna protect myself. Like, I need to get home to my mommy. I need to get home to my mother, okay? So we're on the 2nd floor, so I'm assuming that I can jump out of the window and land on the ground and maybe break a leg or something, but I won't die because it's not that high up. So without thinking, I'm just trying to make my escape route, you know what I mean? Without thinking, I get up to go look at the window because I'm literally trying to figure out what I will do if something goes wrong. I get up to go look at the window and the teacher's like, what are you doing? Sit down right now. What are you doing? And I'm like, okay, you're scaring me more. Like, I can't even breathe. Like, I didn't realize I wasn't allowed to move. I didn't realize I wasn't allowed to talk. Like, it's that serious. Like, I can't move. I'm not allowed to move a muscle. Like, what is going on? And the only thing that's going on in my head is there's a shooter. There's a shooter in the school. We're gonna get shot. It's a school shooting. Like, it's our time. It's happening. We're gonna get shot. We're gonna die. Like, that's the only thoughts that are going through my mind. There's nothing positive going through my mind. There's no way of me thinking that I'm gonna be okay. There's no way of me thinking that it's not a shooter. I didn't have anything else in my mind other than we are going to get shot. That's the only thing that was running through my mind, and I was so scared. I have never been that scared before in my life. So I'm looking around like, okay, if I can't jump out the window, maybe I can hide in a closet. And I'm thinking no, because other people are gonna want to hide in the closet. And now I'm panicking even more, and I just feel like life is over. It was, oh, I don't ever want to be in that space ever again. And that's at the peak of my anxiety. That's when I first started getting anxiety. So I wasn't sure of what to do to calm myself down. Nowadays, I know how to calm myself down. I know what to say to myself to feel better. Back then, it was all new to me. Like, that's the peak of my anxiety. So you can only imagine what I was going through, the overthinking I was doing, on top of me being a Cancer. Like, everything was so, it was so bad. And just the way that the teacher was acting, like his seriousness, I understand school lockdowns are serious, but the seriousness of it, I felt as though like they did an announcement saying there's an active shooter in the school and like to be quiet or something. That's the way he was acting, as if they gave information about what was going on. That's why I was freaking out so much, because he was freaking out. He looked scared his damn self, and you're supposed to be the teacher who's supposed to be protecting us. So I just felt like the world is done. So at this point, I'm like, yeah, like it's over. I text my mom. I'm like, Mom, if anything happens to me, I love you. I love you so much. I'm sorry for all the times that I've ever been mean to you. You never deserved it. I'm sorry. I love you. I hope you can forgive me. And if anything happens to me, please don't be sad. Like, I'll always be watching you. Like, I wrote my mom a long ass message, like saying goodbye, even though we had no information about what was going on. I just felt like it was the end. The way everyone was acting was like, I just felt like I missed something. I felt like I missed something, and I couldn't even talk to ask anyone, like, what did they say on the announcements? Like, I couldn't say anything. So I felt like it was the end, the end, the end. And I'm so mad at myself for giving up while thinking this was the end of my life. I gave up so easily. I was like, okay, that's it. It's done. My life's over. Oh, wow. Like, you know what I mean? I don't ever want to think like that again, because that's horrible. You should never think like that. Anyway, these two girls are talking to each other very low because we're at the back of the class, so the teacher can't hear us, but the teacher told us not to talk, so I'm just not talking because I'm just trying to stay safe. But they're whispering very, very, very softly, like the teacher couldn't hear. And I hear one of the girls say before she came into class, she heard people screaming in the staircase, like screaming at the top of their lungs. And I'm like, screaming? Like, I didn't want to say anything to her because I don't know her, and I don't want her to be like, why you listen to my conversation? That's just how I think. So I just kept to myself, but in my head I'm like, screaming? Someone was screaming, like, hey, yeah, something really bad's happening. So I'm a Cancer, like I said. I started crying. Like, I'm just sitting there and there's tears running down my face, and the girl who was talking, she's like, are you okay? And I just shook my head. I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I'm having a panic attack. This is just like, nothing could be worse than this. And then the girl she was talking to looked at me and she's like, you're scaring me. And I'm still not talking. I'm just shaking my head. She starts crying now. After she starts crying, my friend who I was with starts crying too. 3 girls crying in the back of the class. We don't even know what's going on, okay? And now since I see they're crying, I'm like, I have even more of a reason to cry, because obviously something's happening, something scary's happening. Even though I was the first person to cry, y'all crying after me. Y'all, we dead. Like, we're gonna die. We're gonna be dead. We're dying. We're dead. The teacher tiptoes over to us, which made me feel even more uncomfortable. And he's like, girls, what's the matter? I said, I'm just scared. Like, I whispered it, I'm just scared. And the girls were like, yeah, me too. My friend was like, me too. And he was trying to calm us down, like, everything's gonna be okay. Don't worry. We don't know what's going on. It could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. You don't know if it was a bank robbery like 2 miles away. It could be someone got kidnapped at another school near here. Like, you don't know if it's in the school or not. We just got told that it's a lockdown. So him saying that made me feel a little bit more comfortable, because I was like, at least nothing was said that makes me feel like I'm in immediate danger, you know? It's not like he came and said, yeah, there's an active shooter in the school. Like, yeah, we should be scared. He's like, it could be anything. It doesn't mean it has to be in the school. It could literally be anything. So that calmed me down a little bit, but I was still scared because you don't know the exact answers as to why we're on lockdown right now, you know? Maybe like 5 or 10 minutes after he came up to us, obviously he went back to his desk. This is where we're hearing a lot of walkie-talkies, and I'm also hearing multiple people speak medical terms. I'm not a medical student. I can't even try to make up what they're talking about, but they're saying things like, just like numbers and stuff. Like, I don't know what any of it means. I have no clue, but they're just saying things that to a ear that is not trained to know medical terms knows that it's medical terms, because it don't make sense to me, but I've heard it on TV shows and stuff like that. Whatever. I just know it was like what's it called? What are they called? A paramedic. It was a paramedic. I knew that for sure. I could hear paramedics talking. I hear walkie-talkies. I hear footsteps in the hallways, because you remember it's dead silent. We could hear everything. Even though we're at the back of the class, I could hear everything that's happening in the hallway because no one's speaking. And maybe 15 minutes after we were hearing all those footsteps and all those talking in the hallway and stuff like that, someone comes on the PA system and they say that the lockdown is over. So, whoo, sigh of relief. I'm like, wow, I feel better. I'm gonna go home to my mother. I felt embarrassed texting my mom, because it's like, I didn't die, you know, I'm not even hurt, like not even a scratch on my body. So, you know, I feel a little bit weird that I sent that to her. But so lockdown's over. Class has been done, but we obviously weren't allowed to leave our class during lockdown. And the only thing I was thinking in my head is, I'm going home, I'm going home, I'm going home. Me and my friend, when we were leaving on our way out to go home, we're hearing everyone talking. So there was this guy who I used to go to school with, who was in the alternative school. He was talking to his friends. So I just stopped by to like listen, because I wanted to know what was going on. And apparently they're saying that some girl got stabbed with a screwdriver in the staircase, and that's why the school is on lockdown, which makes sense, because the girl who was in that class said that she heard screaming. So screaming with someone getting stabbed, like, it goes hand in hand. It makes sense. I get it, you know what I mean? Which also explained the paramedics in the school and the walkie-talkies from the police officers and all of that. And they're talking about how they saw another girl getting arrested. So everything made sense, and I felt a lot better. Like, obviously I don't feel good that someone got stabbed in the staircase, but at least multiple people weren't injured, you know what I mean? And you want to know something? After that day, literally the day after that day, I went into my alternative school. I went to my guidance counselor and I asked him to do online classes. Like, that's how scared I was. I had to. I asked him if I could finish all my credits by doing my classes online. And I found that it was a lot easier than being in class, because I get distracted very easily. But I mean, if I'm at home in my underwear eating popcorn. But the girl survived. I remember seeing pictures of her on Facebook when I looked her up, her being in the hospital. I remember checking on her again like a month later, and there was no pictures of her in the hospital, so I assumed she's good. I assume nothing horrible happened to her, because regular pictures were posted after that. And the girl who did the stabbing, who I found out her name as well through people just talking shit, she went to jail. I don't know how long she went to jail for. I don't know what the charges were, but she went to jail. And apparently all of the stabbing, everything that happened was over a boy who didn't want either of them, who has 2 children. Like, make that make sense. Why do you want a nigga with 2 kids? I mean, I'm sorry. I know there's some people out there who are willing to accept that, but I ain't about to stab nobody over a nigga with 2 kids. You have 2 kids, which means you have a baby mother or 2 baby mothers. What am I stabbing somebody and going to jail for? And what am I going to the hospital for? For what? For why? Huh? And that guy went to our school and he was bragging about, yo, because listen, this, okay, whole new little mini story time. I remember coming to school the next day when I was asking to be put on my online classes, and I remember this cocky, not too good looking guy, so I didn't know what the fight was about for real. I remember this cocky, not too looking guy talking to a bunch of guys like, yeah, she stabbed her for me, or she want me, you know, she want the kid, you know, she want the kid. And I was cringing like, ew. Ugh. Yeah. And then I later on found out that he was the guy that they were both fighting over. Don't do it. Don't make yourself look dumb. Like, what? If you like a nigga and a nigga like a girl and the nigga got baby moms and kids, it ain't worth it. Go find you another nigga, please. Please. Thank you. Anyways, guys, that's the story. I know it's not as interesting or as funny as the other story times I have are, but I promised you guys I would tell it, so I told it. Make sure you guys follow me on Snapchat, Twitter, and Instagram, all that jazz in the description box down below for your convenience. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you've ever been through a school lockdown, what your feelings were, and what the outcome was of the entire situation. That's actually something I think I would be really interested in reading. So leave your comments down below and let me know your story. Just a heads up that me and my fiance did start a vlogging channel over on youtube.com/ParisCam. It's going to be in the description box down below if you're interested, as well as the Sims 4 Let's Play channel where I will be making people from my story time. So that's going to be interested. Also in the description box down below, youtube.com/PlayParis. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I got a bunch of uploads for you guys on all my channels, so stay tuned this week for all of that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I'll see you on the flip side. Mwah! Bye guys.